Hey guys, welcome back to the ET Experience. My name is Eric. Today is October 31st, 2017. I am not out trick-or-treating. I am actually, hold on. I'm actually, at home, and I am doing, the spiritual ritual of honoring your ancestors by telling the story of who they were and what they meant to you so that their legacy and their life may live on forever and ever by someone hearing about them. So, with that said, we're moving on to my next deceased family member. Hold on. Yeah, there we go. That's cuter. Okay, so we're moving on to my next ancestor, who was my grandma Piggy. Her name was Maria, I believe, but I never knew that because I'm just gonna take this off. She was Grandma Piggy. She lived in San Angelo, Texas. She was my birth father's mother or adopted mother. She lived near the creek, and she raised turkeys, snakes, dogs, pigs, fish, goats, sheep, cows, horses, lizards, horny toads, ducks, swans, rabbits, you name it, you got it. It was on the farm. Okay? It was is amazing. This one's gonna be the funny one. Oh my god, there's so much stuff to tell about Grandma Piggy's. And all this happened, I can remember this stuff the most. And all this stuff happened before I was even 6. We would go to Grandma Piggy's. I can remember being in the living room coloring my Superman table. I'm getting a distinct smell right now of mothballs because it smelled like mothballs. She was really into mothballs. And she was into yogurt. She was into raising. Oh my god. I can't even go into this story. Grandma Piggy, because she raised a lot of pigs. And I think that she sold menudo and probably stuff like that. Oh, wow, I'm getting so many flashbacks right now, Grandma. Thank you. I'm getting a lot of flashbacks right now. I think the very first time I went to my grandma's, my family drove a red Thunderbird. I believe it was a Thunderbird. I can see it clearly now. I remember meeting her. I remember being at the house for the first time, and I remember seeing 3 dead goats hanging on the porch that had been slaughtered, with the blood just dripping down. Oh. I remember a black furnace, like, you walked in and there was a freaking, like, thing, and it had a pole that went out to the roof, and you threw wood in it, and it was like a boiler. I don't know what it was, actually. It was just like a metal fireplace that I've never seen in my life, that they were like, stay away from that, that's hot. I remember armadillos, because I tried to shoot an armadillo. My dad took us hunting. Those are the memories when we went hunting. My brother shot a cardinal. We would go down to the creek, swim in the creek, fish in the creek, catch turtles, catch fish, get freaking spurs all over us, chiggers. There were snakes everywhere, but I had to be outside. As much as I love, it's weird. I loved nature as a kid, and then I couldn't stand it for the longest time, and now I'm back, just finding myself loving nature again, not afraid of anything. All due to my awakening and spirituality now, and closeness with God, and realizing we're all one. And the one thing that I can remember about my grandma is I had a pet pig. She gave me a pig as a kid, and that pig grew up from this big to, like, I would say at least a 300 to 400 pound pig. And she said, let's go say hi to Piggy one day. And I think this was Thanksgiving or Christmas. I think it was Thanksgiving. I know it was Thanksgiving because I can remember the pumpkin pie. Sorry, that wasn't a toot. That's the chair. They went and they got my Piggy. They put it in a trailer. They took a shotgun and they shot her. She didn't die, so they shot her again. And they hung her up by her two back feet, and I watched my dad slice it from her vajayjay down to her neck, and all her guts blew out. I'll never forget this. And I didn't know what was going on. I just knew that they were killing my pig, and I was like, "Why are they killing my animal?" My mom's all like, "They're killing her," and I was very upset about it for the longest time forever. I didn't know that pigs made bacon. I thought that thing was my pet. I didn't know it was food. I didn't know it was food until later in the day. And I'll never forget seeing my grandma Piggy. She was one of those, like, straight up in it, grab a chicken, wring it by its neck, and pluck its feathers, and dip, like, that's how we ate growing up. I don't eat like that, because I just can't, I won't harm an animal. But, I remember that Thanksgiving, going to the kitchen table, and you could see that there was like this mountain of stuff on the table, but it was covered with a tablecloth. And I lifted the tablecloth, and there was the heart, and there was the lungs, and then the head was just sitting there. And I screamed. And I was like, "What are they doing to her?" And I realized that we were going to eat her, and they were going to make menudo. To this day, I cannot eat menudo, and I think that's why. And today, I'm really not into pork. I'll eat bacon and maybe a pork chop. That's about it. I'm not into pig feet. I'm not into any of that. I did like yogurt. But if I learned anything from my grandma, she lived out in the country. Country's a really good place to live, and being with nature and being one. She had more animals than I've ever seen in my life. You think going to the zoo is fun. Try living in one. Because that was like, you go to the zoo and everything's in a cage. Not at Grandma Piggy's. I had snakes chasing me, trying to bite me. I had wolves chasing me. I was swimming in the pond with moccasins. I was swimming in the pond with catfish. They were trying to bite my feet. I remember getting attacked by a turkey. Attacked. I'm a 4-year-old, 5-year-old kid running round and round and round and screaming for my life around the car because a turkey was literally gonna kill me. I don't know how. I think I was throwing rocks at it. Better. There was bunnies. There were swans. Sheep, goat. I was always out there. It was really fun. I experienced life. Except for everything was fun until she murdered my pigs. But my parents divorced after that, and I never saw her again until her funeral. And my mom took me to her funeral, and I really never got to say I didn't even know what was going on. I was in junior high. I was probably like in 10th grade. I think I was in 10th grade. And we went to my grandma's funeral. So I was probably like 14, 15. I was seeing my dad again for the first time, but wasn't going to talk to him. I got to see my grandma's dead body, and that was it. But I never got to thank her for anything. And so I want to do that now. So Grandma Piggy and Grandpa Piggy was Grandpa Brokaw. He was her husband. He was more of a quiet, shy man. He's passed away now. I didn't really get to know him that much. I was so young. I just remember my Grandma Piggy and doing things with my dad there and having fun as a family when we were still a family. And we're not a family anymore, but we are all in here. So, and we're all still connected. Grandma Piggy, I want to thank you for teaching me that when life gets hard and there's nothing to eat, that I can go slaughter an animal and eat one if I have to. But I won't. But you did instill in me that being one with nature and being out of a city brings you closer to God. And I do believe that you're a very godlike woman. And I remember your gray hair. I can remember your face right now. I can remember your voice. And I miss you. And I know that you're here, so I don't need to miss you, but I still do. And I miss all of y'all. But That one was probably the hardest one to talk about. Because I didn't get to spend a lot of time with her. I only got 5 years of my life with her, maybe 6. At least I had my grandpa until I was 21. I had my uncle until I was like 25 or 28. I missed out on a lot of life from my other grandparents, and I know it's not my fault. I just wish that I had been able to have a different perspective of who you were, but I'm very thankful that you were my granny, and you let me color, and you let me feed the chickens, you let me feed the goats, you let me feed my pigs, and you let me play with all the animals, and you told me not to be afraid of them. Even when there was a snake, you told me not to be afraid. Even though the snakes were in the house, you told me not to be afraid. And I don't fear anymore, Grandma. I ain't scared of nothing. I ain't scared of disease, and I'm not scared of dying. I'm not scared of dying either. So, with that said, you taught me to be fearless. So that, I'm truly thankful. And Grandpa Brokaw, Grandpa Piggy, you're very quiet. And I didn't get to know you hardly at all. But I saw you stand by my grandma's side for those 5 years. And I never saw y'all argue one time. So you taught me that man can be quiet, but can be loving. So thank y'all both. And I honor you both with this story. Amen.